The row above how lot of SA MPs should get in the Brexit trial returns to the building of House of Commons after. On Monday, the building of Lords once again conquered the by the government above giver MPs a significant voice on the result of talks among the UK and the EU. MPs now include to solve if they accept in the Lords or in the by the government. In several Tories menacing to voice versus the by the government, numbers in the House of Commons are anticipated to be tightly. The UK is due to keep the Europe Association on March 29, 2019, and talks include been take location above the regulation of its leaving. The struggle among the House of Commons and the building of Lords, named as Parliament Whistlepong, focuses on which happens if the UK by the government cannot or does not achieve a transactions in the EU. The changing to the EU departure draft put striker by the Lords would offer MPs a more say in these scenarios. Labour has forced its MPs to supporting the Lords correction, description it as the recent opportunity for Parliament to guardsman versus a not deal Brexit that it says would harm the economics. But the by the government says giver Parliament the force to stand up in talks would link Theresa May's hands in the negotiations. Yes, recent 1 week the House of Commons inverted a otherwise worded building of Lords correction on the identical object, following would-be mob who supporting giver Parliament a more part coordinated not to voice versus the by the government. But the would-be mob were unfortunate at the by the government's next proposed to encounter their concerns, description it as a smack in the person. On Monday the by the government was conquered by 119 votes in the Lords, who tabled a new correction that would indicate MPs include to endorse everything the by the government decides to do if down there is no Brexit transactions. MPs will discussion and voice on these two competing amendments after while the draft returns to the building of House of Commons. Theresa May's Conservative Party do not include a most in the building of House of Commons, and ministers will be hoping Tory MPs unfortunate at which has been proposed so far do not solve to insurgent the period. As which the would-be Tory mob select to do, the quantity of Labour MPs vote in the by the government could as well be a key element. The discussion centres on which happens in 3 Brexit scenarios. By these occasion, the by the government has told, a secretary will do a declaration in Parliament, installation out the offered following stairs. MPs will later voice on the declaration. On to the by the government, the voice should be on inert regulation, in MPs just noted which has been told. But the Lords correction goes future, proverb MPs should include to endorse the Secretary's declaration. One of the guideline Tory mob, ex-lawyer General Dominic Upset, has told he hopes Downing Road will get mention of the Lord's voice and how the two sides can solve their differences in a way how honoured the confidence how he and some MPs had located in Theresa May next their meet in her recent 1 week. I am encouraging the by the government will hear to which has go behind of the Lords and we may be capable to reach several shape of reasonable trade-off, he told on Tuesday. This differences among us is not really large, but it is a considerable distinction. It is completely order Parliament cannot micromanage the by the government's negotiations. To be completely precise, if the correction was transferred in the House of Commons, it would not strengthen the by the government to do thing. Meantime, the EU has told down there are severe divergences in the UK on a key question in the talks, which happens to the boundary among Northern Ireland and the Republic following Brexit. The EU's head mediator, Michel Barnier, praised the devotion and obligation of the negotiations teams, and told advance had been done in division issues, love customs officer, VAT, and the Europe Nuke Treaty, Euratom. Echoing his urge for a completely operative supporting to hinder a difficult boundary in Northern Ireland, he added, present symbolism a move striker in these talks. But a lot more than job as necessary to be made up October.